Here we go, another edition of the post-game live stream. Tonight's episode, the Knicks are closing in on another assistant coach to add to Tom Thibodeau's bench. His name is Kenny Payne, and we're going to talk about what Kenny's going to bring to the team. Also, Michael Porter Jr. is having a monster return to the NBA bubble. Was that yet another blunder by the Knicks in not selecting him in the 2018 draft? Let's talk about it. Phone lines are up. 657-383-1509. CP from Knicks Fan TV. My man Jay Ellis from Knick of Time Show. Jay Ellis, how you feeling, man?
I'm feeling good, man. I'm feeling good. NBA basketball is back. Good to see some type of basketball back again. I'm enjoying it, man.
Yeah, good to see some basketball back. Obviously, no Knicks basketball, and it might not be for a little while, but we'll have some news on next season as well for the fans as well. So stay tuned for that. But let's talk about Kenny Payne, Jay Ellis, because reports are swirling around the net these past couple of days that Kenny Payne, the associate head coach at the University of Kentucky basketball, been there for 10 years. Is closing in on a deal with the Knicks for Tom Thibodeau's staff. Now, they're saying Kenny Payne and Worldwide West are very close friends. Known for his development philosophy at Kentucky. They said this is the brains behind the whole operation, JL. It's very, very highly touted. Seems like Kentucky Wildcats faithful are fearful of losing him. That's how important that they consider him. He's also been known to be a big man coach. Karl Anthony Towns spoke very highly of him. He said his development philosophy is second to none. And so, a lot of the writers now are throwing in he's got a relationship with Cat, he's got a relationship with Book, he's got a relationship with so on and so forth. But from a pure coaching perspective, what do you think about it?
Good move, a good sign. If any organization is scared, I take that as good news for the Knicks. First and foremost, it seems like a guy who's going to push his players as well as give them some tough love, a la Woodson, a la Tom Thibodeau. Well, Tom Thibodeau kind of gives the tough love, but this guy seems like he's a guy who, although he pushes his player hard, he gives them tough love. You read stories about players throwing up during workouts, quitting. So they're going to put some of these players through the ringer. Julius Randle himself is trained under him, so I'm wondering if maybe he can, find his mojo back again if this assistant coach is here. And who knows? Maybe he can give Kevin Knox his mojo as well, because Kevin Knox got better under Kentucky, and maybe he's missing a push because Kevin Knox himself said a while ago that he likes tough love. Now we have Tom Thibodeau here, Mr. Tough Love himself, and some blast from his past from Kentucky who can also give him some tough love, so it could bode well for the Knicks.
Well, let's see what happens. Obviously, not averse to it. This guy is coming highly touted from what you hear from University of Kentucky, from what you hear from around the beat. This guy's got a good resume. I'm not falling for any of the relationship stuff. I don't know. I don't care who he knows. I don't care who he's cool with. I don't care if he was a Q dog with somebody else's father, and that might get him here. Forget the free agency stuff. If he's coming here from a development standpoint, then like you said, I'm interested in seeing his impact on Mitch, on Julius, on Kevin Knox. Those three in particular. He's set to be a big man coach. Will he be working with Kenny Wooten at some point? So development, JL. That is the name of the game. That's what we need to be focused on. It's already been said that Tibbs is looking to hire a development staff, a separate staff from the coaching staff, JLs. We got to get with the times, man. There are a number of teams with separate coaching staffs. Obviously, the Raptors are the cream of the crop, but there's other teams as well, the Kings, the Sixers, that have 5 or 6 people that are strictly devoted to player development. So that's where we need to be playing right now.
Absolutely, man. I can't, CP. I felt bamboozled. I felt hoodwinked when I realized that we had one of the smallest development staffs in the NBA when this coaching staff and his front office was pushing development so hard. They pushed a narrative that we have assistant coaches who are good for development.
We didn't even have a shooting coach.
Yeah.
We had Keith Smart. I mean, no offense to Keith Smart. I'm sure, he was a good college athlete, a good player in Indiana, but clearly he wasn't the guy.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know what happened with Keith Smart, man. I always say he got Moutier right. Like Moutier was shooting.
Yeah, Moutier
was
right.
shooting, but Dennis Smith Jr. he never quite got the smart way going for him. So I don't know.
DSJ was shooting bricks, man. But yeah, as you said, we brought in Craig Robinson, and we're gonna get into the Perry stuff in a minute because this episode is really gonna dig deep into Scott Perry's resume and understanding what he really brought to this team so far. But they brought in Craig Robinson last year or 2 years ago as the development guru. He was supposed to have the secret sauce, right? But no staff. No staff. If you go on Real GM and you go through the NBA staff and for each team on Real GM, I'm telling you, there are a number of teams with 5 to 6 people with player development just in their job titles.
It's insane. It's insane when you start to realize, when you go back into the stories in the back of my mind, and I remember reading stories about Kevin Knox thinking about hiring his own coach, shooting coach, and RJ looking for his own coach. And I just put together my mind last week, CP. Like, holy crap, we were understaffed the whole time. And what happened there? That was a major ball drop.
Major blunder. If you're going to be talking development, it's a blunder. So hopefully they're getting that side of the house together, because that's where I feel like the focus needs to be. It's good that all these guys have relationships, so on and so forth. That's fine. But let's get the house in order first before we start talking about who knows who and who they can potentially bring, because I'm not buying any of that at this moment in time. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. I feel it.
Yeah, absolutely, man. So to everybody in the chat, hit that thumbs up button for you boys. Good to be back on, man. It was on like about a week ago, so good to be back on with everybody. Happy Sunday. Hope you guys are enjoying the return, the bubble as well. Let me salute some people in the chat. Salute to Shells Heavy in the building. Shells, how you feeling?
Yeah, shout out to Shells, bro. Shout out to you, man.
Yeah, man. We got No Dice 414 in here. We got Alexis E says, I love the Knicks. John Talento always in here. What's going on? Salute Apple Faxinato in here. Paul Butler, how you feeling? What do you want to shout out, Jails?
So shout out to my guys who are strolling in right now. Brian Fishman, shout out to you. Gregory W. Big also. Brandon McNeely. Ryan Green, shout out to you. Shells Heavy and John Talento always as well. Always chat hopping. Shout out to you guys.
Absolutely, man. Phone lines up 657-383-1509. Alex is on. We're going to get to Alex in a second. But you know what, Jay Ellis? Since Alex wants to talk about the draft, but we got to go backwards in time, man, because in the 2018 NBA draft, 14 teams passed on one Michael Porter Jr.
Talk about it.
We were there. We were there at the Barclays Center. We were in the suite, you know what I mean? Solo dolo, just, throw a little flex in there. But we were there. And we knew what it was, the Kevin Knox pick was pretty much known all day. It was a very anticlimactic draft, but the question was, would Porter Jr. sneak in there at some point? Because he was sliding one after the other, and that became the story of the lottery. And yeah, there were several Knicks fans in the building. The MPJ chants were going crazy in the Barclays. There were fans that wanted him. Ultimately, the Knicks passed and went with Kevin Knox. Now, since then, Michael Porter Jr. missed his rookie year. He missed most of his second year, right? Missed most of it. And now he's coming in hot in the bubble, Jay Ellis. Right now, his last 5 games, these are his last 5 stat line. 23-11 against the Jazz. 27-12 against the Trailblazers. 30-15 against the Spurs. 37-10 against OKC.
Yeah.
That was his last 4, and then he dropped 11 points in a loss to Miami. So then, as he's going on this tear now, Jails, here come all the beat writers on Twitter.
Oh, you saw it coming.
You saw it coming. The avalanche is coming. The Knicks are always involved, even when they're not involved, right?
Exactly.
And so here it is. How could the Knicks have done this? How could the Knicks have passed on MPJ, blah, blah, blah? Give me a read on this, man. Was this a monumental mistake here?
Monumental, not necessarily. I mean, revisionist history, like the cop, right? MPJ, he's doing great now, but the fact still remains: there is a chance that the back will not hold up. That's at the end of the day. 14 teams passed on MPJ because he had back problems and it wasn't looking good. And at the time, we were also dealing with Kristaps Porzingis having an ACL issue, him rehabbing that. So to go from that to drafting MPJ, it would not have boded well for media at that time. It would not bode well.
Would have been crushed.
Yeah, Knicks fans. At that time, that would have been a risky move for everybody because then we're banking on two people with major injuries, not minor, major injuries to come back healthy and saving the franchise.
I didn't think it was a move they could have taken the risk on, and I understood why they didn't. Obviously, we know the talent that he's capable of being, or at least what he was hyped up to be. The major question was the injury. And as you said, when you're sitting there with KP on the mend for ACL injury, I couldn't see how they could sell the fans on taking a kid with a bad back who would again have to miss the whole year. Now, I said that on Twitter, and I said, listen, if they would have taken MPJ, these same beat writers would have ripped them for doing it.
Absolutely.
Right? And now they want to come back and say, oh, I told you so, and all this revisionist history. And I said, listen, the Knicks would have been crushed in picking this kid. And now a lot of people agree, but then some people say, listen, it was a number 9 pick. They should have swung for the fences. This is the type of talent, blah, blah, blah. And I understand all of that. But also, I could also understand them being averse to the risk of taking this kid, not knowing if he would hold up over the course of his career, not just his rookie season, not just, second season, but his whole career when you had KP on the mend, who's also an injury risk at 7'3". It was a tough decision, bro.
And that's the bigger picture, not these 4 games, the career. I wish the best for this kid. I hope he stays healthy. But back injuries at 6'10", however tall this kid is nothing to play with. That is not like, I sprained my finger.
It's tough, man.
That can linger, man.
It's tough. I mean, listen, I even made the argument. I would argue not taking SGA or Mikal Bridges. Remember, Mikal Bridges was my pick. I think that was your pick as well back in that 2018 draft. Who was your pick? It was Miles Bridges.
Oh, yeah, I was Miles Bridges.
I wanted us to pick Mikal Bridges, who's starting to come into his own now and really starting to assert himself on the defensive end, and his offense is coming together as well for Phoenix. I think him and Booker, that's part of their rise in the bubble. Mm-hmm. And then SGA as well. I could even argue that. But the MPJ, the injury risk, I don't think I could hit Perry on that one because I kind of understand it. It still hurts.
It definitely hurts,
right? And it's not a knock on Knox. Maybe he takes a little bit longer. Maybe he's just not who he thought he could be.
Yeah,
but I don't know if I can hit Perry on that one.
There's a few moves that happen where you're looking at it now and it hurts, but we have to step back and see what's going to happen in maybe a year or two to see if that move was really the move or not, or how it really plays out. You know what I mean?
We got to see how it's going to play out, man.
Knox being one of those moves.
Yeah, we definitely got to see how it's going to play out. This was back in at the time. SB Nation had interviewed a doctor on the surgery. This is what the doctor said. Just run through a couple joints. He had 2 surgeries during this college season. Outpatient surgeries. One was to treat the herniated disc in his back. The discomfort was caused by small tears in the outer layers of the intervertebral disc. A whole lot of medical terms we don't need to get into. Small tears in his back to repair the herniated disc. Now, the doctor said that made the claim that this was a common injury to a lot of people and even athletes. What are the chances of him re-injuring himself? The doctor said maybe a 10 to 12% chance within the next 5 to 10 years. But it's still a chance that he could, because basically what he's saying is in that area, you're going to build up a lot of scar tissue and it's not going to be the same, the same strength as it was before. So yeah, you're patching it up, but it's always going to kind of be brittle a little bit.
Which is rough for a young guy playing at that height, 82 games a night.
Right.
That's...
So this is just one doctor's opinion. He was also asked, would a second surgery spell doom for his career? And the doctor says, nope, it would not. It doesn't affect his return to play, doesn't affect his physical therapy, doesn't affect his chance of neurological problems like weakness or numbness or tingling. Some patients say it hurts a little more because we're going through scar tissue, and that's about it. He was asked, how worried would you be if your team drafts him? He says, these teams have in-house surgeon, or we'll have him evaluated by someone. He'll be extensively evaluated before anyone decides to draft him. He's gone through the ringer. If he's picked, that means he's picked by multiple spine surgeons, and they agree his recurrence risk is low. Whether or not it's higher, it's hard to say. Yeah. So basically, the doctor didn't really see cause for concern, but basically put it on the teams to do what was best for them. In another article during that time, according to Berman, the Knicks went to Chicago to meet with Porter. Porter was holding meetings in Chicago. According to Berman, the medical records were not available to all teams.
I remember that.
Except for the Bulls. According to Berman, the Bulls were the only team that had access to the records. So, does that mean, did the Knicks even get access to the records? And if they didn't, does that justify not making that pick? I don't know. I'm just asking the questions here, Jails.
I just asked the question. It seems like they were trying to push him to the Bulls. And if they're not allowed to see back medical records, it was supposed to be, a disc hernia in your back. Right. You're rolling the dice. Once again, you're just rolling the dice.
And he was also supposed to work out. He canceled workouts because he had a bad hip.
Oh, that's right.
So he had a hip injury.
The hip injury right before the workouts.
Before the workouts. So you couple that with the back injury, with the fact that he only played 3 games.
Yikes.
I'm just saying. I don't know. I'm just saying. I don't know the full story, what the Knicks had, what information they had, what they didn't have.
And was out of shape during the last game.
That's all I'm saying. So, you guys in the chat, you guys be the judge. We knew the type of player he was projected to be. Job345 says he was projected to be an elite player. It's not a question of his talent. It's a question. The question is was it worth the risk?
Right.
Knowing the situation that we had.
Exactly. And at 15, 14, you can say probably lower lottery. It could be worth the risk at a lower lottery.
Does it make you feel any better that the logo passed twice? It makes me feel good. The fact that Jerry West passed twice, I feel a little bit better about it, Tails. I don't know. That's just me, man. That's just me. I'm not gonna
lie. It helps ease the pain a little bit.
It helps ease the pain, man.
Let us live.
But yeah, like I said on Ninja P now, that's Knox on his record. Like I said, you look at Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, you look at what Mikal Bridges is doing right now. All right, we'll give Kev some time.
Give Kev some time.
We'll give him some time.
He just needs to get time.
Yeah. Will he get time? Right? His minutes per game drop. But I think if Kenny Payne is truly coming here, I think also with Rose and West, I think if at the very least as a favor to Calipari, they're gonna keep Knox. Knox will be here. He has no trade value. And so, we'll see. If Tibbs can't get anything out of him, then not too sure what the future will hold for Kev.
Yeah, I feel you, man. I predict. I'm not saying he will be with the Knicks forever. Bare minimum, I feel like Knox will be here until the trade deadline of next season. Bare minimum. Yeah. After that, I'm not sure what's going to happen.
Let's hear from Antonio from Puerto Rico on the MPJ topic.
Hey, what's up, guys? Hey. Great program.
Thank you, bro. How you doing?
I'm doing good. I would not draft Porter at that time, and still, because like KQC said, the back, that's going to be an issue. I don't know if you remember Larry Johnson. He had to retire. It's back. You don't get 100% back. And besides that, you were right about the reporters. They would not give that. Reporters on New York fans are tough. They would rush him back, and everything would be negative. So I would stay with Knox. Knox is just 20 years old. Porter's 22. And now with Tibbs, the new coach, I think Knox is going to be tougher, and he's just 20. So let's not give up on him, Let's see what's going to happen.
Yeah, I'm with you, man. Listen, I want the best for all our picks, right? These are all young kids. Obviously, you want them to succeed. Kev has shown the tools. He's got to put it all together. He has shown some flashes, JLs. Mm-hmm. The shot could be there. He has the length. He's got to put it together, man. He's got to get his head together. And so we just got to have some patience with him. It is what it is. This is what our team looks like. Obviously, you would rather them not bungle these draft picks because it's very important.
Right. Nah, for real.
I mean, maybe getting Mitch as a gem in the second round, does that help things?
Absolutely.
A little bit.
But we need to hit on these picks too. And he needs time. He needs time. And when I say time, I don't mean time as in time like years. I mean floor time. No matter what his role is next season, if it's in the G League or on the Knicks, Kevin Knox needs floor time to see what we have.
I agree. Totally agree, man. On Perry, man. How do we really judge Perry's tenure here, right? He's going into a lame duck season next season. Not sure. We have no idea whether they're going to bring him back or he's just there to kind of, be the facilitator, right? That transition team, so to speak. But when you look at when he got here, you think about the free agency he got, right? He got Vonleh, he got Azonia, he got Moutier. They traded for Moutier, right?
Right.
They got Ramon Sessions.
Oh, yeah, that was great.
Remember Ramon Sessions?
God.
Ramon Sessions came here for a cup of coffee.
He was awful.
That was terrible.
I still remember when he threw the ball over the backboard out of bounds.
Man.
I still remember that.
They had Ramon Sessions in there playing over Frank. You got Hazonia, Vonleh, Beasley, walking bucket.
Oh, yeah.
They got Beasley. I would say, the free agent picks have been duds.
Yes, I will say the free agent picks have been duds, but I feel like the picks he had were picked for a reason. I feel like I don't hurt over it as much because I know one of our biggest concerns when Scott Perry first arrived was our cap flexibility was trash, CP. Like we had Joakim Noah was still on the books.
Joakim is still on the books. He's still on the books.
At the time, Courtney Lee was here costing us $14 million. Tim Hardaway Jr. was costing us 18 with Joakim Noah, with Carmelo Anthony on his way out because he was beefing with Phil Jackson. When Scott Perry got here, it was a huge mess. And a lot of it had to do with Phil Jackson and Steve Mills, who just caused a stir before he got here. Steve Mills signed Ron Baker for $8.9 million.
Yeah.
For what? Like
Mills botched a ton, and we're gonna get into that for sure. Mills botched a ton.
I just feel like a lot of what Scott Perry had to deal with when he got here was just cleaning up mess and not necessarily building. which is why I get why people are mad over some of the free agents. I'm not that mad because it hasn't been long deals.
I think if we don't know what they had on the table, but I think they should have traded Vonleh the second that he was even good. You know what I'm saying? They should have traded Vonleh the second they had a chance.
Agreed.
And I think that was a blunder. I also felt like they weren't as aggressive in trying to unload some of these guys in the last 2 years.
Right.
You know, they haven't been as aggressive. Not being aggressive in absorbing some of that cap that we had this past offseason.
Mm-hmm.
You know, making an Iguodala type of trade, or even trying to get Harkless on that type of deal.
No, I get it. We weren't aggressive in that regard. Like, the Knicks have done in general a good job of a decent job at getting picks, whether it be, you know, the Willie Hernangomez, we got 2 second-round picks for him, the pick from Carmelo Anthony that turned to Mitchell Robinson, or I mean, the KP trade was crazy, but we still got 2 first-round picks out of that. Who knows what that's going to turn into? But in general, we moved from a team who was over cap flex, cap tight, to a team who has more flexibility and options with free agent picks. I mean, first-round picks coming forward, which is why we even got Tom Thibodeau here in the first place.
Right.
Because we have a lot more flexibility.
The Mook trade was good. It was a necessary move.
Right.
It was a necessary move in which they got the draft pick, and then they also have the Detroit second rounder.
Right.
Which in the 2021 draft, which could be a good value there. That could be a high second round pick.
Exactly, because that draft is supposed to be deeper, so that second round pick should be even a higher talent than usual. So that would definitely be a good pick for us.
So once again, 2021, you're looking at 3 pretty good picks in the 2021 pick. We have our own, we have the Dallas pick, and then we'll have that Detroit pick.
Exactly. So as far as the pick situation goes, we look okay.
Yeah.
What worries me about Perry right now, which is why I'm glad we have in some new blood, is maybe he doesn't get the team building concept or how to mix and match certain players correctly. Like, I'm not sure if he's able to put together a cohesive team. That's where I feel like he's failed so far. I know we've gotten a bunch of 3-point shooters in here who spread the floor, and in theory that should have worked, but that hasn't worked for us. The DSJ move, in theory, this guy, everybody wanted him over Frank. He's supposed to be the guy, the engine. He flopped. So
it's been a mixed bag. I guess it's been a mixed bag, right? Draft, we can say, okay, Knox TBD. Mitch, good pickup. I'll even give him ISO, good pickup. You know, for ISO to make it, you know, through the ranks, undrafted, good pickup, good eye for talent. You know, we have a couple guys in Westchester that are doing well. You know, RJ was an obvious at 3. I think you know, I think RJ was an obvious. Iggy, second round. We'll see what so far has been doing well in Westchester. So draft has been, I would say, a B.
Right.
Free agency, a D, an F.
D minus.
Yeah, a D minus. And trades, I would say D as well, because yes, the Melo trade did net us Mitch, but the Porzingis trade was a complete flop, bro. And I got to get back to this. I hate pouring salt in the wound. I know people don't want to hear this, but I'm sorry, bro. These Dallas games, I can't watch these games, bro. I can't watch it, bro. It's a disgrace that we are here watching this dude unleashed in the bubble with Luka Doncic going ham, Timmy going ham. You got Timmy, Trey Burke, and KP dropping 90 on the Rockets, JLs. Come on, man. That's a knife to the heart, man.
I'm not hurt, yo. I'm not hurt, dog. Let him do it for multiple games. That's what I'm saying. I feel like Luka. Okay, Luka is Luka. Luka is Luka. When I'm looking at the rest of KP's numbers, it's not. He had one good game.
Yo, KP dropped 26 last night. He dropped 26 last night. let me loop my highlights back and go back to it. Listen, man, they completely botched that trade. This is gonna go down as one of the worst trades in New York history, man. They traded KP for a wish. Literally for a wish. Now, I remember, yes, that night that it happened, we was like, okay, he doesn't want to be here. All right, so be it. But I also took the team to task for why he did not want to be there. Because they had enough of the stupidity, man. The team was not managed well between Mills, Perry, Dolan, Phil Jackson. Ridiculous, JLs. That you let your crown jewel walk out the door and get nothing in return.
Yeah. The wish is there's a lot of weight on these draft picks, man. There's a lot of weight on these draft picks.
Oh, let's see what this 2021 pick is going to be. Okay.
A lot of weight on these draft picks. A lot.
Listen, man. I understand people want to say, oh, you know, it's over, get over it. Yo, these are moves that set your franchise back, man. How are we not understanding this? We're sitting here at the same juncture talking about Julius spinning and winning and looking for his replacement. These are moves that set your franchise back, JLs.
Yeah.
Like, how can we not acknowledge that? Every time this team takes one step forward, they take 5 steps back.
I feel you, CP. I feel you. I understand you're hurt. But listen, we gotta wait and see what happens, man, because there's still unknowns. We still have to see if KP can play for more than 60 games in the season.
I understand that. Totally understand that.
And we have to see if any of these draft picks turn out to be something that we can use as franchise. We can catapult the franchise again. It sucks that we actually picked a correct pick for once in our lives, but you know, it's still a risk. It's still a risk even maxing KP.
It was. I understand all of it. It was a risk, but you know what? You have to think in reality that money is not going to anybody else, man. Nobody else is coming here, and the fact that they let this guy go and had no promises whatsoever. That's a disgrace, JLs. You couldn't do that. You could not have done that. What they did was the Dallas trade was the best trade they could have gotten to get the 2 contracts. But overall, it seems like they were better trades in terms of return on your investment. They could have had maybe players that could have helped them right now.
Yeah, I mean, what I see happening with that thing is the New York eyes. I feel like the Knicks saw the writing on the wall with KP and were trying to move covertly while trying to convince him to stay. Because I feel like the front office knew if they openly shopped KP, it was 100% he was gone. So instead of openly shopping him, they tried to do it on low, just in case he changed his mind magically, just in case the team started to flip around and they can implement him later and life would be good. But life didn't end up being good. They ended up shopping him covertly. He asked for a trade. All of a sudden, he's gone within minutes. And then here we are right now.
And that's what cost Mills his job. Because, listen, you can't. That was a disgrace. I'm sorry, man. I'm sorry. You guys want me to get over it, but listen, man. You never want to see your ex do better, bro. Regardless. You know what I mean? You don't want to see your ex with another dude and you're sitting there by yourself. Because this is how we're looking right now. We're sitting here with cap space, hopes, and dreams.
Cap space,
hopes, and dreams.
It said we got 2021 pick. We got pick coming up in a few weeks. And who knows what's going to happen? We can end up picking somebody nice, packaging that pick for somebody else. Who knows what's going to happen, CP?
Listen,
it hurts.
I'm still here. I'm still here, man.
I understand it hurts.
You know, it was a lot easier to accept that night because you felt like it's happening, meaning KD. Like, you felt like, all right, they're going to trade KP. Obviously, you want him here. But damn, they're not gonna trade him for nothing, right?
Right.
Without a promise, and they did.
I'm not even gonna go back that KD road, man.
And they did. They traded him with no promise.
I already know. I keep saying this. I don't want to say it again.
The insult to injury and the whole thing was that they got no meetings. No meetings, JLs. That's the salt in the wound. And rub that in.
Listen.
That's all I'm saying, man.
I understand what this is. Listen, man. Here's the thing out of it. Going through this debacle, CP. This is what we found out. We found out KP didn't want to be here. Cool. We found out Fizdale was the wrong coach.
Big time. Big time.
We got rid of Steve Mills. We actually have a developmental staff for real now. So it sucks that KP left. But maybe, just maybe, we can actually build the foundation a lot better with developmental coaches for the first time, an actual coach for the first time, and somebody with connections and some basketball know-how on the top. I'm hoping.
This
is all wishful thinking. This is all hope right now. This is all hope right now.
And that's just all it is. You know, when you look at Perry, again, I don't know. We don't know if he's meant to be here past this season. But what I think he can do to help his case is, number one, they got to ace this draft coming up. You have 3 draft picks. Absolutely. You got to ace it with at least 2 of them. Number 2, they have to get more aggressive, right? Go get another second round pick. Buy a second round pick with all this cap situation going on for next season. Go out and go get a second round pick to throw in a Westchester, somebody that you can build up, right? Use some of the cap space as a weapon to absorb a contract of a less desirable contract and get another veteran in here that way and get a pick on top of that, right? We need to build up the war chest, bro.
Dude,
build up the war chest.
I don't know. I feel like we have one of the youngest teams in the NBA.
I agree.
So getting more picks, to me, if I'm getting more picks, it's the package to move.
Right.
Because right now we have Frank, Knox, Mitch, RJ. Everybody over here is 22, 21.
Yeah.
Can't barely party, can't drink.
Yeah. Listen, they're not all going to be here, but to your point, again, having that as weapons to trade later on, if you need to make a trade later on, then it won't hurt you as bad. But you have all this money. Use it wisely.
Absolutely.
Use it wisely.
And when free agency comes, we'll see if we're using it wisely. We'll
Facts.
See. That'll be a test. That'll definitely be the test.
Yeah.
But I'm looking forward to this draft and next year's draft to see what we really have. Because next year's draft is supposed to be the one. And let's hope the ping pong balls forward they may, and we going the right track. Get somebody push this franchise forward. Speaking
of draft, Alex is on the line. Alex, how you feeling, man?
Hey, what's going on, bro?
What's going on? I muted him by accident. Hold on, Alex.
I thought it was Wolf. I thought it was Alex Wolf.
Nah, go ahead, Alex. My fault. I muted you by accident. Go ahead, bro. What's your point?
Oh, yeah. Okay, I just realized. But I had a scenario. Nobody brought it up, but let's say we get top 4 pick. What do you do if Phoenix offers you their first rounder?
Wait, if Phoenix repeat your question. If Phoenix offers you what? I couldn't hear you too well.
Let's say the top 3, top 4 pick and LaMelo's still there. And let's say that Phoenix wants to get LaMelo.
Oh, if Phoenix wants
to give us their first round this year, next year.
And where's Phoenix picking in this scenario?
I mean, they're the lottery right now. It's like 14, 13.
And Phoenix, and appreciate your connection was kind of bad, so I'm gonna mute you.
Yeah, repeat that question, CP.
So basically, saying if you're sitting there at 4 and LaMelo's there, and Phoenix is offering you this year's first and next year's first, would you take that?
Phoenix?
Yeah.
Nah, because it's Phoenix. I feel like Phoenix is on the brink. So I feel like this year and next year's first is not going to be as valuable as a top 4 pick this year to me. To me in the NBA, a dollar is more valuable than 4 quarters. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I'm taking LaMelo because I still think we're going to end up back in the lottery next year anyway. So we're going to have a good pick ourselves next year. Plus you tack on the Dallas pick and that second round. If they feel like LaMelo is going to be that next franchise point guard, you can't pass on that. You got to take it.
Exactly. Like, I'm not sure if he will be, but I know he has a chance to be with his passing ability, and that's something that we haven't had on his team in a long time. Someone who really pass like that.
True story, man.
Who's the last person who can pass like that? Sergio Rodriguez? Who's the last person?
Yeah.
Who's the last person who can pass on the Knicks?
Hey. Well, look. Back to the KP thing. Forget Michael Porter Jr. What they should have done was traded up for Luka Doncic. That would have kept KP happy, and you would have had the Dallas team with Mitch right here in the Garden. And Trey Burke. You would have had Trey Burke to the Knicks.
Yeah, there you go. You're right about that.
They should have went up and got Luka Doncic, man. If that was the case.
Yeah, Luka's killing. Jesus.
Killing. 21 years old, man. He's dominating right now. Dominating jails. So to everybody in the chat, hit that thumbs up button for you boys. If you guys are new in the chat, leave us a hashtag new so we can shout you guys out. Let me shout out some of the super chats that came in. DJ's Man repping 757 Hampton, VA. Salute to everybody down in Hampton for sure. Alan Berman sends a super chat. He says, salute fellas. Knox under Tibbs isn't going to be pretty. Don't see him here to start the season, to be honest. I think he and those Dallas picks are going to bring us back something like the 3 Ball brothers. I don't see that.
I'm sorry.
I don't see Kev having that draft capital in him. I think they're gonna work with him. I think they're gonna work with Kev and see what they can get out of him. The J Caleb show says OBJ, Jamal Adams, KP not cut out for New York. Peace out. We good. Well, they say KP's not an alpha, and that's understandable. I wasn't expecting him to be the guy here, JL. If he was here, there's no doubt that we would have been much further along. You have KP, you have Mitch, you have RJ Barrett. I mean, forget about it. We're moving along, and that's all it is. It's like we're stuck in the mud, and we're sinking until further notice. And this management team has to prove us wrong.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. I understand what you're saying. KP and Mitch together would be nice. But who knows? You know what? But you know what I will say? I've never seen KB do the sham god like Mitch, all right? I'll say that.
I hear you.
All right? Okay?
I hear you, man. Yeah, just tough. Louis Luck says, if you're going to constantly rehash the past, there's no point in looking to the future. You may as well turn in your fan card. Louis Luck. There's no way, man. There is no way I'm turning in my fan card, JLs. But
we grandfathered in, CP.
I'm grandfathered in.
I'm
grandfathered in, man.
I can say what I want. Once you pass the 10-year mark of being a fan, like you can't say nothing to me.
You can't. I've been at this for a long time. You cannot question it. Rowan Easy says, I'm so negative. Well, listen, when you're watching the team for as long as I have, you have reason to be negative. I don't know how long Rowan's been watching, but if you've been watching for as long as I have, you have reason to doubt it, JL. It's every single regime that comes in is supposed to be the next hot thing, the latest and greatest. From Isaiah to Phil to everything down the road. We don't need to rehash it, and it's all gone to garbage, man. Let's just be real. A lot of you guys need to be realistic. This isn't Homer Fan TV, J. Ellis. You know what I'm saying? We can be cautiously optimistic, but at the same time, looking at these past transgressions, this team has to get it together, man.
Yeah,
we have something simple, to prove,
man. We have something to prove. We definitely have something to prove. And the KP trade wasn't a good one. It's looking like that. You would think if Dennis Smith Jr. played at least as good as he did in Dallas, it wouldn't look as bad.
It wouldn't look as bad.
But DSJ turned into I don't know what is he now? I don't know.
I don't know. I think he's gone, but I don't know. I could be wrong. We'll see. Well, all I'm saying is, be cautiously optimistic, man. But let's not act like they've been doing things so great. in the past. Don't Rory sends a super chat. He says, my biggest fear is Mitchell Robinson leaving the Knicks because of Clutch Sports influence. LeBron does it to us again. Well, look, Rich Paul is going to look out for, he wants the best deal for his guy. They're going to want to have Mitch get the bag. And I had a show the other day, Jay. I was just kind of wondering, what is Mitch's value going to be? What is Mitch's value on the open market based on, comparable players?
Right.
And
it's like,
does he get that money?
Yeah, because, usually people are saying that the big men who can rim run and block shots, they say they're losing value, but then you continue to see guys like that get the bag. So you wonder if that's going to happen for Mitch as well.
Right.
Or is it going to take, him hitting some jump shots for him to really get the money that he really wants and put us in a situation where we're going to have to make tough decisions.
Exactly. It's gonna be a tough decision when it's time for Mitch to get paid, man. Salute Shells Heavy in the chat. He says free Kenny Wooten. We'll see if Kenny gets activated this season. We'll see. It's gonna be very interesting. And they have a couple of scenarios of how next season will play out. I'm gonna get to that in a second. Salute Delano Steele. Says if you don't look to the past, you're doomed to repeat the same mistakes again. Hashtag don't question my fandom. Delano Steele the mayor, man. You know what I mean? I don't need to say it. He said it. Said it well.
It still speaks, man.
Speaking of speaks, we got to hear from Ari. This is a perfect segue for Ari, man. What's going on, bro?
Yo, what's up, CP? You guys hear me all right?
Yeah. Go ahead, bro.
All right, there's a little echo. I was going to. First of all, CP, you have nothing to, defend yourself about. Right about everything you just said right now. Jay Ellis is saying it's not that bad. Selling Ninja P t-shirt. He doesn't want it, so. Honestly, dude, the KP trade that's an unforgivable mistake as a GM. Unforgivable mistake, and it's not the fact that he wanted to leave. The fact that he wanted to leave and that the culture wasn't built and that he put them in such a position just says about the way that Scott Perry was managing this team, man. And I know Steve Mills took a lot of the brunt for it, but Scott Perry was there. First of all, they hired David Fizdale, right? That was like their first move. F negative, okay? F negative, all right? After that, they had that whole Kristaps Porzingis fiasco. And when you're in that position, at least get some value back, man. You know what I'm saying? Like, first of all, I don't know how you make that trade. And listen, Lucky Louie or whatever his name is can say whatever the hell he wants about don't look at the past, you're not a fan. All right, Louie, I don't know what you're talking about, dude. We want this team to do well. You're just out here making nonsense, all right? So, like, I don't know what he's saying. But, like, you have KP, you could have, like, I remember a year before that, there was, like, KP for Devin Booker, like, scenario going on. Like,
right.
There was, like, you could have gotten an all-star, like, a real good player back for Kristaps. Even post-injury, you could have gotten back at least a piece, man. And Scott Perry let that fly, right? He also drafted Kevin Knox. So listen, my thing with Kevin Knox is I personally at 9, I would have taken a shot at Michael Porter.
Scott Perry wasn't there for
he was the consensus number one. He was the consensus number one talent, but I'm not going to even knock Scott Perry for that because of what CP is saying. You have both injuries or whatever. Like KP and Michael Porter Jr. both had injuries. You can't build a franchise around people that are both injured. But the free agency, oh my God. Getting 5 power forwards and then Wayne Ellington and stunting the player's growth, the young guy's growth. Literally, Scott Perry didn't do anything. Like, there's not one thing Scott Perry did well besides draft Mitchell Robinson in the second round. And second-round picks don't make you a contender. The lottery picks make you a contender, right? We need a hit on the lottery pick. And they also made the ISO Zo pick, which is a good, the undrafted pickup. Yeah. But then they just let him go for nothing. So, like, literally,
I think that's why he's really mad, Jails.
It's like, he did nothing. He was horrible. He did every mistake possible. And, like, I know Jay Ellis is going saying, like, oh, well, you know what? Now we have a new regime. Now we can try building. Dude, we said the same thing 3 years ago. when we brought in Scott Perry, Steve Mills, and Fizdale. We said the same thing 3 years ago. And CP's right. This is the type of stuff that sets an organization back. And you could say, don't look at the past. It's not about the past. It's about moving forward, and you can't go moving forward when your front office is making just wrong decision after wrong decision after wrong decision. So of course I'm going to be mad. I'm very upset. And listen, one more thing. I read an article that Tim Hardaway Jr. Sr. said that the Mavs called the Knicks about Tim Hardaway Jr. That they wanted Tim Hardaway. The Knicks could have got Tim Hardaway Jr. off the books without KP. Apparently, he was a throw-in. That's how disastrous it was. They didn't even shop him, Jay Ellis. They didn't even shop KP. All right, and don't give me anything about leverage. Anthony Davis had all the leverage in LA, and they still got a bag for Anthony Davis. All right, they didn't even shop KP. They threw him in. Disaster. I don't care. Disaster. I'm done.
Ari on his soapbox. I think he just wanted to drop the ISO line.
Of course he did.
I think it was all about ISO, man. But go ahead, bro.
Yeah. First of all, okay. Phil Jackson is the one who was shopping KP for the Devin Booker trade. Everybody crapped on Phil Jackson. Scott Perry wasn't even here yet. And I think that's the big reason why the Knicks didn't even want to overtly shop KP out in the open, because CP, I remember that summer when the trade KP rumors was coming out during the summer and Devin Booker's name was in there, dog. It was pandemonium. I don't remember that. It was pandemonium. It was pandemonium. Imagine that during the season.
Yeah.
Imagine that during the season.
That was draft day.
That was draft day.
That was draft day. That was the inception of Knicks Fan TV. That was the inception.
Exactly. That's when we first started
trade rumors. Yeah.
That's when we first started. And it was like, dog.
Facts.
If we had the watch we had now, the internet would have broke.
Facts. Big facts. Yeah, that's what Timmy Senior said. That KP was a throw-in. Now Mark Cuban said that basically they had been talking about Porzingis for a lot longer. Basically what he's saying is you talk about players all the time. You put together trade packages all the time with rival GMs in the event that they may pull the trigger one day.
Exactly.
So Cuban made it seem like they were kind of talking about it, but then like they just did it. That the Knicks called them like, hey, you want Porzingis?
Exactly. I heard that too. And I'll also say this. I understand if you're upset over the KP trade. A lot of people are. I get that. I definitely get that. But I also will say this. You can say you don't like the KP trade, but you can't downplay drafting Mitch in the second round and him turning into something great. You can't downplay that. And can't say, well, franchises aren't built with second round picks. No, that's false. Franchises are built with maximizing cheap talent. Yeah. If you're looking at Toronto, Pascal, Van Vliet, like all those guys with cheap talent, and they were able to buy time riding off of cheap talent and build a program, and now you see them getting championships or is being contenders. So that's absolutely not true. And listen, I understand. I understand that you're upset over the KP trade. It's already over. I understand you're upset. I'm simply looking at what is next. What do we have next? We have the picks that we have coming up next year. We have the Dallas picks. We have cap space that we didn't have 3 years ago when we were optimistic when Perry and those guys came here. Now we have cap space. I'm looking forward to the future to see what we can do next.
I agree. And to your point on the second round picks, there's a lot of value in second round picks, especially from a salary cap standpoint. If you go out and get some value like a Draymond Green in the second round, a Jimmy Butler in the second round, you look where you're competing, that helps you. That helped Golden State get Kevin Durant. Because you don't have guys all in the same salary tier. You know what I'm saying? So that's another thing that I'm saying, going back to Scott Perry, is like they got to get aggressive and maybe go buy some second round picks and get them through Westchester and see if any diamonds in the rough appear, because that is how you have a guy on the salary control at a low end that's going to fill a role for your team. So that gives your team a lot of flexibility. You know what I mean? So there's a lot of value in second round picks if you could, find that diamond in the rough.
Hell, we don't even know we have an Iggy yet, dog. Like Iggy was tearing up the G League for the end of the year. We still don't know we having Lamar Peters, man. We still don't know what's happening down there, man. We still have some people to experiment with. We still don't know what's happening with Kenny Wooten.
True story, man. So to everybody in the chat, hit that thumbs up button for you boys. Let's see who's in here. Salute to everybody on Team #new. Completely missed that roll call. So salute to everybody on Team #new if you're new in the chat. There are cities in the chat. Let us know where you're checking in from. Let's see who else is in here. Shout out to Sham BK. Royal Hebrew Remnant sends us a super chat. He says, Knicks and the fans should be focused on development and not trades and quick fixes at this stage. Too early to look for saviors. Completely agree. Got to develop. Completely agree. Let's see who else is in here. Big Chief Triangle. Shout out to Andy. What's going on, Andy? We got Lockie Whitaker in here, Victoria, Australia. Shout out Lockie. Taya Clay checking in from San Antonio. What's going on? All right, a couple more calls before we wrap up. Let's go to this is a good time for Jay from Florida. Jay, what's going on, man?
Bro, I'm with Ari, man. I'm with Ari. Listen, bro, you don't trade KP. If you feel like KP got beef with anybody in your organization, you don't fire Phil Jackson and hire Scott Perry, an incompetent front office. You get David Griffin. You get real NBA guys in there so you can make sure KP is happy, right? Scott Perry liked and followed a bootleg Brock Eiler Twitter account, bro. How incompetent of a GM we got that follows fake Twitter accounts, bro. This man has no idea what he's doing, right?
Is that how we judge people now off of Twitter follows? What's happening right now?
Bro,
the 2020
you don't know what you got going on. You don't know what's what. You don't even know if a Twitter follower is
real.
I
got your phone number.
NBA team?
He says Ninja Peace following bots.
Ninja Peace is 50, 60 something years old. He's talking about Twitter?
You know what I'm saying? Like, it's crazy. You got MPJ. You pick Michael Porter Jr. no matter what in that draft. The whole arena is screaming for Michael Porter Jr., not Kevin Knox. I threw it on Twitter the other day. Everybody's MPJ, and they picked Knox, right? Last year, Ball, we seen a little rumor about Ball possibly getting picked by the Knicks or getting traded up by the. You pick Ball. These cats is high-end prospects for a reason, right? Same thing, if we don't get Melo this year, we go get Cole Anthony. Cole Anthony is a top-level prospect for a reason, right? They get ranked based on their high school and AAU ball, right? Don't try to rethink the wheel. Go get them high-level blue-chip prospects and call it a day, right? Scott Perry is incompetent. You know what I'm saying? He makes it bad for future black GMs. I'm going to say it because I'm black. I'm going to say it, bro. We got to get rid of him, bro. Got to. No
what do you think about the RJ pick?
I mean, the RJ pick was the obvious pick. I would have picked Reddish. I wanted Reddish.
Okay, wait. So wait. So you just
player.
contradicted yourself. You said go for the obvious pick. Don't overthink it. What do you think about RJ? Who was the obvious pick? That was too obvious.
Reddish was a blue prospect too, bro.
Which is it? Which is it?
Reddish was a blue chip prospect too. They all went to Duke. And Reddish had a three ball, had the handle. He had everything. I feel like you pick Reddish. RJ, cool. I like his attitude. I like how he carry himself. But blue chip, having the ability to shoot the ball, carry, dribble, I would have picked Reddish. That's just me. You pick ball, you pick Reddish. You pick these blue chippers, these no doubt about it blue chippers. If we don't get the number 1, 2, 3 pick Cole Anthony.
All right.
Because people compare him to DSJ. Cole Anthony is not DSJ.
Nah, he's not DSJ.
Cole Anthony could pull up off the dribble. Far from DSJ.
Yeah, he's not DSJ, man. Appreciate the call, Jay. Appreciate the call, man.
Go for the obvious pick.
Nah, I wouldn't have went with Reddish, man. I wouldn't have. Sorry. I was feeling him on the Twitter points, but not on the Reddish points, man.
You was feeling him on the Twitter? He's not a real GM.
That was a new take. That was the
take of the day.
That was a new take. I had no idea Scott Perry was out here following bots.
Oh man. Man, his daughter runs his I don't know if you have his daughter. His nephews run his Twitter page. I don't know.
Listen, man. If this is real, man. Like, this is real. Like, yeah, people say, oh, you're just complaining. Listen, when you cover this team on a daily basis, And whether or not we was covering them, we were watching this team on a daily basis. Like, this started way before this show. When you watch every single game from Summer League on through, you want to see your team improving, man. You don't want to see them taking one step forward and 10 steps back. They need to learn from the past, JL. This is real.
I feel you. I guess you don't want to hear my Kira Lewis over Cole. Never mind.
This is real, you know. Again, the MPJ thing, I understood it. The Frank draft was a whiff. Let's just be real. Not saying that Frank can't add value to this team, because I think he still can.
Right.
But his pick, they reached too high for him.
That was Phil Jackson.
That was Phil. You know, he wanted his triangle guard. Mm-hmm. It was a whiff. So it just is what it is, man. It just is what it is. Salute to Danny Thomas, sends a super chat. He says, this coming year is going to be important. We need to create a better culture that lead into more wins. Also, I agree with Jay Ellison. Drafting great talent in the second round is important. From Stockton, California, Danny Thomas, what's going on? Shout out Flutophone Johnson, new from Jersey. Anybody in Jersey? Salute to Jersey in the building. Who else we got in here? Brandon N, what's going on? The Humble Memphian, what's going on?
Humble Memphian, all right.
Yeah. Mike Jones, what's going on? Who?
Mike Jones
in the building. Pedicance, what's going on? How's everybody feeling? At 675 on the YouTube. Hit that thumbs up button for you boys. If you guys are new in the chat, once again, welcome to the show. Just a couple reminders. Remember, this show is available in audio podcast format. Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Play, Amazon Alexa, and Stitcher, so you never have to miss it. Coming up, the lottery coming up, JLs. August 20th. Let's go.
Nervous,
man.
Let's
get it going.
I'm nervous, man.
Yeah.
I'm dreaming of ping pong balls.
Pause. What number are you?
I slapped that ping pong,
yeah.
CP. I didn't think I had to pause the ping pong.
It came out so fluid, man. I just had to check it at the door, JLs. You know what I'm saying? But no, we got a big show coming up August 20th for the live stream watch along. We're gonna do a watch along, mock draft, caller reactions, all of that. We got Macri coming through, Schwinny's coming through. We got Hardwood Herald coming through. Spencer's TBD. TBD, but we're gonna have about 6 people on the show. Gonna be a big show. That's August 20th. Don't miss it. Other news on the league wise, JL, they're trying to figure out what to do with these teams like the Knicks, the Delete 8, to get them active and involved. Because look, I mean, they could be looking at anywhere between 9 and 12 months since they last played basketball. So, you know, a lot of fans didn't feel like it's a big deal, but to the coaching staff and everybody that wants to get acclimated, they're trying to figure out what the best thing to do. There was initial talk about them going to Orlando, but that looks like it's been scrapped. The NBA Players Association doesn't want to do that. So seems like they're going to get cleared for some sort of voluntary training camp in August. Not set in stone, but it's a possibility. Voluntary training camp in August. As it pertains to next year, they're trying to figure out how to maximize fan participation, getting fans back in seats. Obviously, that all depends on how quick the vaccine gets here. And for you anti-vaxxers, no, I'm not advocating for the vaccine. I'm just telling you what it is. Don't come for me in the comment section. I'm just telling you what it is. They're trying to figure that out. So they even talking about possibly delaying the season past the December 1st start if they know that they can get fans back in the seats. They're also talking about having regional bubble sites, Orlando, Vegas, other sites where, you know, you would travel somewhere, play a group of games, come back home for 2 weeks, and then go to another site, play your next set of games, so on and so forth. So it's a lot of unknowns for next season, but there's a lot of different scenarios that they're pondering right now.
All right.
All right.
Hopefully gets. I want to see some Knicks news, man. Hopefully to get something like that going. I want to see some news. I want to see some thoughts on Knox's progress. Frank coming back from France. I want to see what happens with those guys and read some news updates on those.
Facts.
Sure.
Listen, Tibbs is trying to get in there with the team, man. It's very important. Next year, it's gonna be a very timing wise. Things are gonna just be very strange, man. So he's trying to get in with the team as soon as possible. All right, last call of the night. Let's hear from Will from LI in the building. Will, how you feeling, bro?
Hey, what's going on, CPJ? How you guys doing?
Good, man. What's going on?
Not much, man. I hope you guys are good. Personally, I've been out of the loop, kind of. I'm in LI, and we still ain't got power over here, so I haven't really been able to check Twitter and all that other stuff about what's going on with the team and everything. So, again, appreciate you guys' show, keeping me in the loop and everything, and nice to hear from everybody. Yeah, I wanted to talk about this assistant coach coming out of Kentucky, man, and the obvious connections to Kevin Knox. And, like, you know, everybody talking about the MPJ thing, you know, I was in the same boat with you guys after hearing, you know, our exact situation where we were at that point in time. It was like a damn if you do, damn if you don't thing. So, honestly, no matter what happens, we're always going to be, like, a target for the media. Like, I don't really see them coming up, like, at, what's that team? The Suns for getting rid of T.J. Warren. And seeing how he's just going off right now, so I think cash consideration.
That's a come up.
That
right
was
there.
the Knicks. Come on now.
Yeah,
would have ripped apart. But I digress. Talking about this potential new acquisition for the assistant coach. Listen, man, I really feel like this is a reaching out point to Kevin Knox. Like, this is like we're gonna bring in a guy that was from your old program, that knows you, that knows when you were at your best basketball, how you used to work and everything. So I hope that this is them doing this. Kevin Knox also does it and meets them halfway. Because we all know it. This is a make it or break it for Kevin right now. This is make it or break it. You know, if this coach does not get the most out of Kevin Knox and Kevin Knox does not put his best foot forward to be that player that we all know we want him to be, then that might be it for Kevin, man. I don't want it to happen. I'm rooting for the kid, but, you know, it just is what it is. But I'm going to just leave you guys on that. Appreciate the content. You guys keep doing what you're doing, man.
Appreciate it, bro. Hopefully your pal comes back on, man. Because, I've been hearing Suffolk County still doesn't have power in some bases. I know Allen Hahn is still out there in the dark. So, Suffolk County, man, still hasn't had much power.
Sorry, guys.
Yeah. Well, listen, on Knox, hopefully this guy helps him. We'll see. You know, like I said, he's on his third coach in 3 years. So that certainly hasn't boded well for him, but we'll see what happens, man.
We'll definitely see what happens. I don't even think it's just Knox, too, because he's a big man coach.
Yeah.
So you thinking about Knox, I'm thinking about Mitch, you know?
Yeah. Or Randall.
Yeah, Randall. I'm thinking, you know, these guys too, not just Knox. I mean, not that helps, but
true.
It seems like his specialty is post-up moves as well. So if he's able to post-up moves, and he got guys who like Mitch, who hasn't posted up anything yet, and that could be for Mitch as well. It could be just good for the team.
That's all I'm saying. Let's go one more. Let's go overtime. Delano, close us out. I didn't see Delano on the line. Go ahead, bro.
Salute to everybody in the chat. What's going on, fellas?
How you feeling, bro?
All right.
I just wanted to, again, come in, show love and everything. You know what I'm saying? Show love to you guys. Always keeping the content going. Salute to everybody in the chat. You know what I'm saying? Taking their time out. You know what I'm saying? Hope everybody's staying safe. I'm going to be honest. And I've expressed this plenty of times. I've expressed it since the 2018 draft with you guys over the phone that I felt like, again, you take the NBA-ready talent or the higher prospect knowing what he brings to the table over somebody that you need development with. So for me, of course, MPJ and Mikal Bridges were my choices over Kevin Knox. We live with what we got, you know what I'm saying? Of course, you hope for the best, but it really hurts when you start looking at those same guys that you passed up on, and I know everybody else passed up on it, but I'm not a fan of everybody else. I'm a Knicks fan. So I focus solely on what the Knicks did or what they didn't do, and that was draft the right person as far as what they needed. and they needed NBA-ready talent, especially if our development is in question. On top of the KP trade, yeah, that's a stinger. But again, to the fan that I had it correct, this is the same exact situation that happened with Melo. So that's two bad trades that we have under our history. So again, why would you sit here and say stop looking at the past? But clearly, we should have been looking at the past instead of making these bad trades, because look at what happened. It bit us in the butt. And we're now still stuck at square one. So, at the end of the day, I just want us to build contenders, but we have to avoid the pitfalls of making the same mistakes over and over again. So that's just my take on it.
True story, man. Appreciate the call, Delano. Definitely appreciate it. He makes a fair point, man. In having guys that are more ready to contribute when healthy. Because we all know that Knox was projected to be was slated to be a project when they took him. So maybe they would have been better off taking a flyer on MPJ. He has a good point, JLs. If you're not going to develop him out, you got to get the guys that are ready to roll. So we shall see, man.
Yeah, we failed. Well, Knox got the minutes to develop and see something in his first season. That second season, though, was crucial when he was on the bench for so long, kind of not really developing at all and stalling until Morris left. That's when maybe you start to see some growth on the defensive end. But we need to put some more time into the kid to see what we have for real.
Yeah, that's it, man. On that note, JL, go ahead and sign out, bro.
Yeah, man. Salute to everybody who follows Knick and Tom Show. We're dropping new episodes every week. Back on it on the YouTube channel, so definitely check us out. YouTube.com/Knick and Tom Show. The Soundcloud has been stalled for now. We're gonna get that back up soon, but we'll be back on SoundCloud, iTunes, Google Play, Stitcher, and all that noise very soon. Definitely catch us on Dash Radio as well. We on Dash Radio, Number Nets Network in the mornings at 7 a.m. on Tuesday. And also check out the blogs. We got some talented writers on our squad writing some cool stuff. So shout out to the writers on the squad on nickandtomshow.com. Watch out for the blog. That's all. Back to you, CP.
Yes, sir. Great show, JLs, as usual. And salute to everybody in the chat. Great show again. We almost hit 700, man. So great job, everybody out there. Once again, hit that thumbs up button for you boys. We appreciate everybody for sending a super chat as well. The donations go to cover overhead, so we definitely appreciate all the love. Any more that we missed? Shout out EJ1. Shout out EJ1. So to EJ1 for the chat. Louis Luck says, I've been a fan since the 90s. I hear you, but what other choice is there but to hope for the best? The past is just at the past. Yeah, that's all we're saying. Listen, we wouldn't be doing the show if we wasn't, if there was no optimism, JLs, you know what I mean?
Listen, exactly.
we wouldn't be here doing this, but at the same time, the frustration is there, man. We got to get it together. That's all. That's all we're saying. But if we weren't optimistic, trust me, we wouldn't be doing this for hours on end on a daily. So I definitely hear you.
Yeah, I mean, and I get it too. You have to look at the past mistakes to see where to go next. But I gotta throw in some optimism when it gets too heavy. I'm like, all right, listen, let's reel it back in. Let's wheel it back in a little bit. It's like, this is what we have to look forward to. So everybody's not going to be slitting their throats. Like, no, we have stuff to look forward to. We have stuff to.
That's definitely right.
With the blunders.
True.
All right.
JJ Hands TV says, if the Knicks draft Denny, I'm sending $100 super chat. All right.
All right.
Appreciate that. Tay Clay says, CP, if a player wants out, there's nothing you can do. Kawhi Leonard wanted out. There's nothing the Spurs could do about it. What they get. Fair. That's fair. That's a fair point. And Tay is from San Antonio. He knows, and San Antonio was always looked at as that model franchise, and for somehow that bridge was burned with Kawhi Leonard, JL. So that's a fair one.
Exactly. It's like when you're not going to get fair value.
Yeah.
What's the next best thing?
Yeah.
Picks.
It's a fair one, but I'll also say with the Spurs, it's a rare one, and with the Knicks, it's not. It's a very common thing.
Yeah.
That's the only difference. You know what I mean? But I hear you. Don't Rory says, I said it before, we need to draft Obi from Dayton. Obi Toppin. He throws his hat in the Obi Toppin ring. Okay.
Got Obi, we got Denny. Okay.
Yeah. All right. No doubt, man. So, like I said, remember August 20th, lottery watch along. So make sure you guys tune in for that. And we'll check in with you guys this week. Salute to Patrick Francis, DJ's man, Hampton, VA, Raw Hebrew Remnant, appreciate it. Stephen Fox says it's time for a chopped cheese. He's about to go get his eat on. I'm about to go get my eat on, JLs. What do you want to shout out before we get out of here?
So shout out to Adele Chapman. Shout out to my mods, Greg Williams. So shout out to Greg. Greg still stays throwing the inside jokes from my pod or from my post into the chat. Shout out to you. We paying attention. Shout out to John Talento, G Adrizi, G Bolden Jr., One Shot, everybody who supports both of us, Knicks Fan TV and Knicks Time Show.